Hey YouTube, Mike that Tankless guy here. How we all doing today? I hope we all had a safe and productive week. Alright, today's video, I'll tell you, I can actually make content on questions, which is great. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. It just shows me what you people are interested in knowing, and I'll do videos on it. But this also is a very popular question that I get on tankless heaters, now with the Navian unit, is what size unit should I put in this house, or which one of them? And now that Navian has 3 different models. So you have the NPN, you have the NPE, and now you have the new NHW, which you can see a full unboxing video on it. We'll go over it briefly today, but you can see a full unboxing video in one of my past videos on this new unit. All right, so basically, what do you do when you go in to sell a unit? So people are interested in it. Now, in my case, people already know tanklesses, and it's pretty much that way throughout the entire United States and the world. This thing is better than sliced white bread, in my opinion. It's probably one of the greatest inventions made to produce domestic hot water. Now, Navian does have other models. They have boilers, they have combi boilers that will produce heat and hot water. But here, of course, in Florida, we do need heat. We pretty much work on or install almost all of the either non-condensing or condensing units. So I finally found my little pointer, so we have something to point at. Now I will be out of camera, but you'll understand. All right, the first unit here is an NPN model unit. This one happens to be the universal model, which means that it could be put inside the house and vented outside with the concentric venting and concentric venting only, or it could be put outside the house with a hood. They also make an exterior model. So it looks like this, that has the vent in the front, where the NPE model comes only this way, and you have to put a hood on it if you put it outside. The NPN and the NHW, you have to order natural gas or propane. So you got to remember that. And the NPE model, whether it's the S2 or the A2, comes into the country natural gas with the conversion kit. Again, multiple videos on converting this unit and the unboxing. And like this one, the U, you put a hood on it, which covers up the exhaust and the fresh air. And now you have one unit that can do all 4 processes. You have natural, propane, inside, outside. With this one, you have to order, and the NHW, you have to order either propane or natural gas. Now, let me just grab, where did I put them? Oh, I put them right here. All right. First thing you need is literature. Once you get past your level 3 training, or if you go to the advanced training, they'll provide you with literature. Take the literature with you when you go to sell this job to your customer. Now let me just put this one up here because we're going to go this one last. All right, so the literature is multiple pages of everything that you need to know about the unit, basic, what it can do. It's optional parts you can add on to it, but it's great to give it to the customer. Even if the customer is sold, I want a tankless, or you did it for my neighbor, or you did it for my relative, bring the literature with you. It's always good to pretty much instruct your customer on what you're doing. They see it in black and white, or actually color. Now, I also school my customers on every single thing that needs to be done. I show them photos of what the vent will look like if it's inside. You got to go as far as even explaining the service. Once a year, how much you charge. Now, we're not going over any pricing because everybody's pricing in states and throughout the world are different. So you're going to, of course, call your local distributor, get pricing on the unit, and then give your price accordingly to what your profit margin is and your labor and overhead. Okay? So that's that. So I school my customers on everything, every single thing possible that we're going to do in the process of installing this unit. So there is no difference when they come and look at it and they say, I'll give you a great example. Years ago, we were installing a Weill McLean boiler. My father went and sold it. Gave the people literature. Now, if you look at this piece of literature, it's the tankless heater. There's no vent, there's no piping, nothing. We finished installing the unit. The husband and wife came downstairs so I can now instruct them on the operation and maintenance of this heating boiler. The wife immediately stopped in her tracks and was staring at the unit. She goes, "That's not what I bought." I go, "Ma'am, yes, what do you mean? It's a boiler. It's not what I bought." The husband said, "That's not what I bought." I said, "Ma'am, what are you talking about? It's a Weill McLean steam boiler." They went upstairs and they got the literature. They said, "It don't look like this." I go, "Ma'am, do you see it says Weill McLean? You see on the front of the cover it says Weill McLean? You see it's blue, it's blue? It's the same boiler, ma'am." "No. What's all these things around it?" They're talking about the piping. So I was like, now I'm baffled. So now I got to explain to them that this is what heats your house and does everything it needs to do. They thought they were just getting this thing with no pipes. So that's why I heavily school my customers. All right, sizing wise, let's first go with the NPN model. Now, you don't need to memorize this stuff. Yeah, I got most of it in my head, but you got the literature, you got the booklets, pamphlets, you keep somebody. Remember, when you install these, you get an owner's manual and an installer's manual. Take the installer's manual with you. Take a couple in case you get them all dirty. You have them for maintenance. All right, so this unit right here, again, they make a U and then they make an exterior. They make a 160 and a 180 and a 199 U. Then they make a 120, a 160, a 180, and a 199 E exterior. So they do not make a 120 that's an interior. Smallest is 160. Basically, in your head, and I'll put it in the description below, a 160 is good for like a single bathroom home. You could get away with 2 bathrooms, but it's good for a single bathroom home, or if you happen to have like rental cottages and stuff like that, or a double, like a single wide trailer, you can get away with a 160. A 180 would be for 2 bathrooms, excuse me, and a 199, you can go about 3 or 4 bathrooms, but when you bank these together, especially 199s, you get a lot of horsepower. Now, I have a couple of 199s that are double, because remember, you can only cascade 2 of these together. You can do 32 of these together. So I have banks of 2, 6 of them, that do a hotel. And they work, there's a lot of horsepower behind these 199s on the NPN model. So again, if you go back to the 120, definitely that's a 1-bathroom home. Small, single, elderly man or woman couple that live in a house with 1 bathroom and a kitchen, and the washing machines and dryers, even if it's an older style, perfect for that. Or cottage, rental cottages, perfect. 160, again, 1 to 2 bathrooms. 180, you can go 2 to 3, and a 199, you can go 3 to 4 bathrooms. Now, interior, exterior, doesn't matter. They still have the same burner, they still have the same heat exchanger. So remember, everything in these units are all stainless steel. Even the screws are stainless steel. Even the burners are stainless steel. All right, so now, we actually do more of the NPE models. The NPE, again, comes in, they have 2 different styles. Now, remember, there's 1 unit in, out, and natural and propane, but they make an S model, which does not have the pump. And they make an A model that has the pump, and this is an A model unit. This is a 210, that's a 199, and this is a 199, and we'll get into the NHW in a minute. All right, so on an S model, they make a 150. They make a 180, A and S. They make a 210, A and S. And they make a 240, A and S. But a 150 is just an S, no pump. So if you want to, if someone's got a small single bathroom house, but they want efficiency, especially if it's propane. Propane's expensive. These units save drastically on a water heater, an older tankless, or an electric heater if you're converting it to, say, propane, having a tank put in. Or these units are really good because they're 97% efficient to around 85% efficient. So a 150 S model, most likely the bathroom and kitchen are very close because it's a very small house, probably under 1,000 square feet. So that's why they make it in an S model. Also, it's small. The configuration inside of it is not that much room. All right, so now let's go to this new unit, the NHW. All right, the NHW, and it's an NHW 700, is like this unit and this unit. The NPE and the NPN had a baby and made the NHW 700. This is a non-condensing, let me get this camera, let me just move this camera over here. Okay. This unit is a non-condensing unit that has the circulating pump and the buffer tank, just like the NPE model, which circulating pump buffer tank. It has the cold water port, the gas port, the recirculation 3 inches over from the recirculation, or if you have the hot water, 3 inches over from the hot water, is the dedicated recirc. It has the check valve in it. It's programmable, but it does not have a condensate drain. So the model of these units, and I happen to have given away every single piece of literature, is, I could just read the front. They make a 160, a 180, and a 199, and they make it E for external and U for universal. So here is your external model, and if you look on the front page, that would be your universal, so it would go inside. Or if you happen just to have one with a hood and you need it to put in a customer's house, you have it to go external. And there is your external only. Again, with these units, I cannot stress enough, whether it's the NHW or the NPE model, you need to order the fuel that is at the customer's home, whether it's natural gas or propane. All right, so this unit is, this one happens to be LPG, liquid propane gas. That's what I asked for when they sent it to me. And as you can see, there is a noticeable difference between the NPN and this NHW. It is pretty much almost the same size as the NPE, but the weight is a little bit different. It's a little bit less. That's around 80 pounds. This is around 72 pounds. But, some hot rod, give it a second there. But this unit is a non-condensing, higher efficient unit than the NPN model. So with this unit, let me just back this camera up a little bit. With this unit here, the 160, you can get away with like 1 to 2 bathrooms. The 180, you can go 2 to 3, and then you can go 3 to 4 on the 199, 4 bathrooms. After that, you bank them together. You can then cascade them. Now, if you go back to my video with piping, whether you use the NPE or the NHW, it has a dedicated return on both of them. So you have the 3 pipes, the cold, the hot, and the dedicated recirc. When you're piping them in as first in, last out, you need to pipe both of the recircs in, not just one. So if you're cascading two together, you make one of them the primary and this one the slave. You're not piping that just into this and leaving the plug on it. You're manifolding them together. Now, it doesn't matter whether you go left to right or right to left, as long as they're manifolded together. When you sell 2 units, and I just had this problem with someone that put 2 units in a house, a plumber called me, got me off the channel. He put an A and an S model. They'll work, but it is not recommended. If you're putting 2 units in, that means the house is quite large, quite expensive. Put the right stuff in to warrant your job to the house and the customer and your contractor. Put 2 A models in, whether it's the E or the NHW. Put 2 units in that have recirc. Now, where do I put the S's in? The S's, and that was before this one came out, the S's I put in to like hotels, laundry room, kitchen, like that. That's where I put, if I don't use that, all right, the NPN, I will put in an NPE model. That NPE model will be an S because, like Ivory soap, 99.9% of the time, there is a dedicated recirc line that's tied into the cold water somewhere, whether it's up at the ceiling, down at the floor. It's got its check valves. Most of the time it's piped wrong. It's got no aquastat. It's running 24/7. But there's already a recirc line. There's no reason to put the recirc in here because there is no recirc line. The line is somewhere further upstream on the piping, and that is recircling the water back into the cold water, which is then coming back tempered into the tanklesses. So I'll put 2 or 3 of these in, depending on the size of the hotel, for either the laundry room or the kitchen. Now, I've had a few of these in schools where they were not interested in recirc. They just wanted efficiency and reliability, so they went with the S model. But sell an A model. Also, if you sell an A model, just off track a little bit as a little note. If you sell an A model, whether it's this one or the NPE, the NHW or the NPE, and you're going to put a NaviCirc in. So that means there's no dedicated return line. You're putting in the NaviCirc. Go back into my videos. I got multiple videos on that. That is the device that you put underneath the farthest or their most annoying sink, and it circulates within the piping of the house. Put a 3rd valve on it and plug it off. Why? Because when you come back to do service, you're going to actually just use hoses, pump, and liquid, and you're going to use the dedicated line and the hot line with the controller through service mode, and it'll service the unit within itself for either 30, 60, or 90 minutes. Just put that extra valve in. Most likely it's, what is it, $15, but in the long run it's going to save you, especially if you've got multiple units in, because 90%, 95% of all the houses we go into, we put a NaviCirc in, because they did not run the return line. No matter how big or how expensive the house was, they forget or they do not put the return line in. So now when we come in to replace the tankless and the people are bitching and moaning that it takes 7, 8, 9. I mean, I had one, I stopped my phone at 16.5 minutes and I still didn't get hot water. The timer on my phone, I use that with either my hand or a thermometer, and that's how I tell how long it takes. We install the NaviCircs. So very rarely do we have a return line unless we do the job and we run it back to the unit that we're putting in. So just put that extra valve in. It's going to save you a lot of effort in the long run. Because like I said, all you need is a bucket, the solution, and 2 hoses. You don't need a pump, and especially if it's an exterior unit and of course, with the exterior, they have a plug, so you need a plug. So, of course, with the pump, you plug it in. You don't need to bring that with you. Just a bucket solution and 2 hoses. Bob's your uncle, you're done. Now, with the NPN and the NHW, as you can see, you have to wire them. All right? It is not like the NPE unit where you get a dedicated cable. Now, you do have a dedicated cable, as you can see on this one, because it's an interior unit, and with an interior unit, they assume you have a plug nearby. But with an exterior unit, you're going to get it looking like this, where you have your black, your white, and your green wire sticking out of the bottom. So again, with the 161, maybe 2 bathrooms, 182, 3 bathrooms, 3 to 4 bathrooms on the 199, and then with the NPE model unit, you're going to have, of course, let me get this back again because I'm going to give you, here we go. Okay, with the NPE, you got the 150, but it's an S only. That's going to be just for a small single bathroom, single kitchen home. Then you have the 180. You can do 2 to 3 bathrooms with that. You can do 3 to 4 bathrooms with the 210. And then you can do about 4 to 5 bathrooms with the 240. The 240 is a big unit. And with the 240, and again, on the literature, you got every single thing. Now, I know it's going to be hard to see, but you actually have how efficient it is. You have gallons per minute. You have the inches of water column, whether it's natural propane, weight. You got pipe sizing. You got exhaust. You got intake. You got everything. Now, with the interior U, or the U for this one, they're concentric venting. With this, you have the 2-inch PVC. They all have, now of course this is an exterior model, they all have the vent safety switch here. Vent safety switch is built in, but if you're doing multiple NPE units and you're going to be using, say you got 2 of them, so you put 2-inch up to a 3-inch line, you're going to change the exhaust to what they call a common vent collar. I have videos on that too from the past. So, that's that. That is basically what you would need to know when you go to a customer's home. Again, bring literature with you. Bring photos with you. Show them what, if it's an interior model and you're going to have a vent or say both going outside. Now, a lot of times I'm in a big 3-car garage, so I can use the room air. But the exhaust has to go outside. Again, it's Schedule 40 2-inch PVC, red letter. So it's pressure pipe, not foam core. You can use regular drainage fittings, which is better than pressure fittings because the elbows have a bigger turn on them. And you're going to bring it outside. You want to show the people what it's going to look like. Explain to them that the pipe is paintable. Give it at the specific, say, 14 inches apart if you're bringing bolts outside, and you can paint it. Keep it as close as you can from the wall, down from the soffit, away from windows. It's all in the installation manual. You don't need to remember it. All you need to do is thumb through the manual. If you go to Navion's advanced training course, they're going to give you this nice little booklet. It's about 8 by 5. It almost looks like one of them ledger books that you keep memoirs or your diary in. And in it, it is the most, it's got the most troubleshooting and parts and pieces for any tankless that I have ever done inside this little pocket book. It sits in my truck, and yes, I look at it. I look at the side plate to tell me what the water column is, minimum and maximum. It's all there. It's like an open book test. All you got to do is find it and write it down and answer the question. That's it. You don't need to memorize it. They provide you with a ton. Like I explained with these installations. Here, let me show you something. Let me just get out of camera a minute. This manual is, let's see, 77, 78, 79, 81 pages. 81 pages. Now this is the installation manual. The other thing that I had here is the user information manual. So that manual, and here's the manual here for the NPN model. You get 2 manuals, and I probably still have them ziplocked together. I wish I had my table here. Come on. They even give you tape on the back, so you can tape it to the side of the tankless heater or to the wall. I mount mine on 2x4s, and you can, I slide it behind it. So besides getting the rubber covers and everything, and then of course you get the warranty information. So you get all the warranty and registration card. You get an installation and operation manual and a user's information manual. So this you take with you, this you leave with the customer. Amazing. How? So they put a lot of time, effort, and money into writing these manuals for you to know and to install correctly. And I'm losing everything. All right? All right, YouTube. My email will be in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the description. And if you have, you can email me. I do have a Patreon channel now, which helps support the channel for the content, for me to keep producing videos. I'm trying to get 2 to 3 videos done a week. I've been banking them. I do have a video coming up. Most likely it'll be launched by next week or maybe during the week of what is happening with this shop, with this studio here. So we're on the ground floor where I have the rack system. And again, I have a video on the rack system and how you assemble it and use it. But this video is actually going to show what's happening in this area right here and what's going to be looking at in the future. So if you could support me on Patreon, it's That Tankless Guy on Patreon. I'll have it in the link below. Again, and I'm on social media. Check out my new website, my business website for photos and updates. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook at Economy PLMBG. That's my, and of course on TikTok, I'm on That Tankless Guy. All right, YouTube? Again, thank you for all the likes, the subscribes. I'm almost at, I probably hit 20,000 subscribers for a lookup channel, and how I feel about it. I greatly appreciate it from everyone that supports this channel. I appreciate all of the questions, all of the comments, all the likes and all the subscribes. From my family to you, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. All right, YouTube, you all be safe out there, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.